So today's lesson is called empowerment. Empowerment in the dictionary it's defined to invest power or to equip or supply with an ability. So maybe you guys know somebody who needs power, and maybe you are just the person to empower him or her. Bibles, can you guys turn to Psalm 152? Anybody who has it first can read it.
Wait, what is it?
Psalm 152.
Excuse me, sir.
Psalms 150,
Yeah,
verse 2.
You want to read it?
that makes more sense.
Ollie?
Praise him in his powerful acts. Praise him because he is greater than anything else.
Alright, and then I have the King James Version, and it says, praise him for his mighty acts and praise him according to his excellent greatness, which is actually a song. Just thought I'd state that. Okay, so there's actually a story.
It's her Bible.
There's actually a story that goes with today's lesson. Okay, so it's kind of a longer lesson than most of them, but the story does relate to the lesson. Like I'm actually getting somewhere with the story. Okay, so there was once a girl whose shyness made her very nervous about being around other people. The shy girl would keep quiet and with all of the other kids around her and in her class. She always noticed another girl who was loud and outgoing, and the other girl seemed to have all the confidence in the world. One day, the shy girl was standing near the bathroom school mirror, and the confident girl walked into the bathroom and started talking to her. Hello, the confident girl said to the shy girl. You're my math class, right? Yes, the shy girl said, shocked that the confident girl even recognized her, much less talked to her. My name's Laura, the confident girl continued. Well, what's your name? Rebecca. I'm going to a Bible study after school today. Do you want to come with me? And Rebecca said okay. She couldn't believe that the popular girl, Laura, just actually talked to her, much less invited her somewhere. During the Bible study, a student spoke up and said, today's lesson is about empowerment. Does anybody have a story about a time when you were empowered? Laura was the first one to speak up. I do. I used to be very shy and feel very terrible about myself because I could never share what I was thinking or feeling. It was like I was locked up until one day a lady in my neighborhood brought me to church. She was my mentor and spent a lot of time with me. She told me that she believed in me and that God loved me. And it took me a while, but finally, I was empowered by God, and I was empowered to start telling other people that God has planned for their lives too. Laura finished sharing her story and smiled at Rebecca. Rebecca smiled back. It was the start of a new friendship and one that would lead Rebecca to know Jesus and empowered another person to be a witness for God. Okay, so now going into more of the lesson part. There are many kinds of empowerment in the world today. Like, what are different kinds of empowerment that you guys could think of?
Wordly.
That just like sums up everything.
Pretty much sums up everything. Yeah. Generally speaking. Well, I mean, there's good empowerment too. There's not just bad empowerment.
Wordly. Not worldly.
Oh.
Wordly.
I thought you said worldly, and I'm like
language-wise.
Oh, okay.
But I have
Got
to
it.
use bigger words.
What were you gonna say?
And more complex.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So there are organizations that have different objectives to empower other causes. You know, like women's empowerment groups or racial empowerment groups. Teachers empower us to know knowledge. Coaches empower us to have a spirit for the game. And obviously, church should empower us to be a good and strong witness for Jesus. Most empowerment groups have positive motivation behind what they do. And most of them are for bettering people who are oppressed or underprivileged. Many people... What? Many people in the world want to empower others to do good and make the world a better place. Do you guys know of a way that you guys could help empower others?
By just complimenting someone that you don't typically talk to.
Just talking to somebody that you don't talk to. In a good way. Like,
Yeah, not in a negative way. I would
Yeah.
hope. I don't think that'd be helpful or empowering.
But I mean,
Brings it
Not in a
Church.
positive way.
mine
Yeah.
empowering them in the aspect of building up their self-confidence in themselves.
Yeah. So there's plenty of ways you can help empower others. So I guess the main point of today's lesson is just really to walk in empowerment for Jesus, because he's obviously the greatest thing in our life. I mean, if you guys had to list the 3 top most important things in your life, who would be at the top of the list? Yeah. I was hoping that Jesus would be the answer. I was hoping so. Yeah. I mean, and then second can come family and friends and all that jazz. But generally speaking, your top one should be Jesus, because he died for us, and that pretty much says everything right there. All right, prayer request. Yeah.
That's a good point. My mom's heading to Mayo to get her second opinion on her hip. So that's
Okay.
either good or bad.
Robin?
That's my mom.
That's her.
Dang it.
Lisa.
I'm never going to get this right. I'm so bad with names. All right.
Just my home life right now, then. General.
Waterfall.
Lisa's doctor's opinions. All right, anybody else?
I'm my home instead of like this.
Amber, Jeff.
My next door neighbors, and then my aunt.
Any prayer requests? Nope. All right. For those of you that haven't heard, my brother managed to dislocate his knee,
Oh.
so he's in a
Ow.
brace from his thigh to his ankle.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's in a lot of pain, and he really needs prayer
That's a
for just.
really big break.
Yeah, I know. It's massive. So he really needs prayer
And for
just for a lack of pain.
You stole
And
this
for
from Mrs.
Sarah to
Meeks.
get
Yeah.
healthy
I
again.
should have been
My
in
little
yesterday.
sister is super sick too.
And
So.
sick munchkins make me sad. So.
Okay, so. Okay.
Well, what's the good of it recording if we're being fake while it's recording?
Exactly.
What are you doing?
The point
He's
is
giving me a piece of gum.
I'm getting a piece of gum.
I just heard rappers moving.
not to distract others.
We're not distracted.
Distract
We're
me.
still listening, and she's not
I
even
love
trying
us
to talk
fighting
about
on
it.
camera.
Sorry, people. You can't see me though.
Can we pray now?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody who wants to help pray can help pray.
Nope.
Dear God, I just pray for you to have your will and opinion and the doctor's opinions when it comes to Alyssa's mom, Lisa. Dear God, just help them to figure out, what they should do and what the right decision is. And dear God, I pray for Holly's home life and for you to just have your will in that, obviously, because you're the King of Kings, and you have a plan for all of us, even though hard times come. Dear God, I pray for Jeff's neighbors and his aunt. God, just continue to do work in their life, continue to just move through their hearts, and really just show them who you are. And dear God, I pray for my little sister. Please help her to get healthy, because we all know that being sick is no fun. And dear God, I pray for my brother's pain, that you can please help it to at least be at a lesser amount than what it is right now, because horse pain isn't fun either, and it's not fun, especially when it's extreme pain. Dear, I just pray that you let us feel your empowerment, and that we can reach out to the ones in need, and maybe even receive empowerment and healing ourselves. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hey, challenge. I totally forgot to text you guys and remind you in the middle of the week. So hopefully some of you
What
did
was
it.
challenging him?
Alright, it was about forgiving 3 people in your life that had hurt you or were rude to you or whatnot. did any of you guys
What if you
actually-
forgave them, but then they were rude to you again?
It
Now
doesn't
you hate them
matter.
again?
It is still forgiveness.
What if you forgave them but just didn't tell them?
You don't have to. I said that last week. You don't have to go up to this specific person necessarily. I mean, there's a lot of different situations. Like, they could be dead, or they could,
Yeah.
you know, like.
Why would you want to hate somebody who's dead?
Well, I mean, if they wronged you and then they passed
and
away.
then they passed away before you ever had a chance to apologize, kind of thing. Or if you have like a restraining order against them,
jeez.
or they're in
That's
jail.
strange.
You know, like there could be a lot of different situations, and that doesn't really matter as long as God knows and you know in your heart you truly forgave them.
I
So-
actually did the challenge this week. I'm
I'm proud of you.
myself.
Did it go good?
Yeah, it did. I seemed more positive.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good, yeah, that's awesome. I really
I-
Someone.
did it go well, or do you feel any better now that you did?
Don't feel any different.
Jeff?
I forgave somebody who hurt me the most, and it actually felt like it lifted a lot of weight off my shoulders.
That's good. All right. Next week's challenge, and this is for all of y'all that are watching too.
Jeff, get in the picture. Come on. Yeah, we're gonna face it towards you.
Alright, so next week's challenge is kind of to just answer these questions. There's not too much you necessarily have to do. But what are you going to do with the power that God's already given you? And name, or in the next week, go ahead and do this. Share his power with some people you know. I mean, like, really don't be afraid to step out and be like, I mean, like, if you see somebody that you really feel could use Jesus, then
But don't Bible beat.
not in a rude, taunting, or annoying way. No. Very, very good point.
Or in a way that in today's society would get you arrested.
Anything
Like
bad.
what?
Or get suspended from school for doing it.
Okay, we get the point. But
What could you? I'm not even.
yeah, let's not even go into that.
Not even
Okay,
gonna
so so for next week's challenge,
What a
just
Bible that someone said.
figure out.
Why
Figure
would you do
out.
that?
Just go with it.
Yes.
Just move on.
Okay, so just figure out how much or what you're going to do with the power that God's already given you, and then who are you going to share his power with, and if you do share his power and encouragement and love with somebody in the next week, then write down who. I mean, it doesn't really matter if we know them or not, like, just so you know you can like kind of prove that yeah, I actually did this. And I'm sure again that it will make y'all feel a lot better because I mean, like, there are a lot of people that are hurting and really need God, and I mean, who is there better than us to reach out to them, because we are his disciples, we are his children, and there's not too much other that we can say. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.